Again, thanks for your attention. My name is Rod Hicks. I come to you from Pomona, California, and it is the Western University of Health Sciences Center. I am a family nurse practitioner. I've been a family nurse practitioner for many, many years, kind of like my colleague there. We won't say the number of years because I'm amazed. It seems like yesterday I was in class sitting and learning about this. So right after I became a family nurse practitioner, I went into the academic role. I was appointed to a faculty as a medical school and learned about academic role through the medical school and then over to the nursing school, and have been in it ever since predominantly. Did 8 years of research, and then during that time I did work at the Uniformed Services University with a lot of the esteemed colleagues in the room. So I'm going to share my experience with promotion and tenure in the academic role and all about the changes that are going on. I think it's an exciting time to be an academician. We have a lot of great, bright, shiny faces ahead of us that we're helping to become the next generation of providers. But the academic role is changing, and I want to focus on the mentorship opportunities within that changing role. So I want to start with some basics. Traditionally, the academic role was teaching, service, and scholarship. That's been pretty common through most traditional universities from the beginning of time, it seems like. So, does anyone agree with me, or can everybody agree with me that I believe a university is a heavily bureaucratic institution? Now, let's talk about that bureaucracy for just a moment. The father of bureaucracy is Max Weber. Max Weber wrote a phenomenal paper many, many, many years ago, and so he's credited for giving bureaucracy as a core principle of public administration. And many of our universities are in the public arena, so it's applicable. So two of the principles that Max taught us about was efficiency and effectiveness. And I want to paraphrase his definition of bureaucracy and see if you can identify the relationship to academia. Bureaucracy is an organizational structure that is characterized by many rules, standardized processes, procedures, requirements, meticulous division of labor and responsibilities, clear hierarchies, and professional, almost impersonal interactions between employees. And that was written many, many years ago. So I think it's applicable to education, but I want to show where mentorship can help change that definition. And the change that I'm going to propose is that we substitute impersonal interactions with a vision of mentorship that results in personal interactions. So let's take these three large domains: teaching, service, and scholarship. I'm old, I admit it now. Teaching, the academic pathway for education, used to be 36 units to be a nurse practitioner. You had a common core, you had a role specialization course, you had clinical core, and you had a functional minor. And that functional minor was either in administration or in education. The functional minor in education gave us a foundation that that person had the beginning knowledge of what it means to become a teacher. Teaching is very, very different than being an expert clinician. Your expertise as a clinician is why we want you to join our faculty. It's a given. What's different about that is that all the work that goes behind the scenes in teaching, course development, curriculum committee, learning to write an objective, testing, formative evaluation, summative evaluation. So while your teaching responsibilities may only be 8 hours a week, I'm going to put forth a statement. There's probably at least another 32 hours a week of work to be done. This is where the mentorship comes in and is extremely valuable, because we have to take that expert clinician, translate them into the expert academician. And I want to say this, and my compliments to Dr. Barker, mentorship and teaching isn't about orientation. It's about professional growth to achieve that efficiency and that effectiveness. Now, service, as nurse practitioners, we get this. We can accelerate in service in an academic setting. Service can be service to taking care of our patients. In a lot of academic settings, it's service to the unit or the college level through your college committees. It's service to the university standing committees, service to the profession. So we really accelerate, I believe, as service. But you still need the mentorship on what levels of service to be most involved in. And remember, the service it's kind of like the Stairmaster. You start as a committee member, then you become a committee chair, and then you become ruler of the world. So let's talk about scholarship for just a moment. The old traditional name for scholarship was grants and publications. What a phenomenal opportunity to receive mentorship in those areas. Your mentor's role is to help you keep up with that dissemination phase, always writing, always going for that next grant, and looking for opportunities to build your impactful profile. Neither publishing nor writing grants is inherently easy. It takes that mentor to help you achieve that. So now you kind of have the landscape for the traditional roles of academia, our teaching, our service, and our scholarship. But now I want to mix it up a little bit. Where we're going to mix it up is that we still have the traditional academic settings. We still have universities. They're grounded. They may be in a dedicated health science center. They can be part of a liberal arts. We've got these institutions of higher education, but we are also under scrutiny and attack because of the amount of student loan debt coming out of school. We've also seen disruptors in the innovation world come in and turn these educational institutions into either online, for-profit, different types of structures. So the role of the academician is going to be very different. So as you go pursue a job in academia, if you're not there, it's very, very different. We may not see the same structures of all the committee work and everything that has to happen. In this new world model of the virtual academia, we may be hiring you because you are that expert clinician and we want you to be the expert faculty. But if you're a distance-based faculty and you're not there, you may not have the opportunity for the mentorship for a smooth and successful transition into that new role. So let's get down to the bottom, tenure and promotion. The hierarchy that we have, that we talked about, instructor to assistant to associate to full. Again, it's like that Stairmaster, you're always climbing. It's not a treadmill where it's just a continuous path. It's a climb where our mentors can help us. Tenure itself is under threat. Many universities in the traditional settings are doing away with the tenure process. It doesn't exist in some places. What used to be a 19th century phenomenon of lifelong employment is replaced by episodic contracts, maybe not be employment without benefits. So it's changing. So we do need that mentor for those of you that are going to be on the tenure track. I bet there is not a single university in this country that has a tenure track that does not have a faculty handbook. Reading that handbook is like watching paint dry. It's dry. It's boring. It's a lot of black and white words, but between black and white rests the color gray. And it's within that color gray that we have our opportunities. So we want to use that color gray to maximize our effectiveness and go forth and be successful. But we need a mentor. The university probably will tell you, we're going to give you somebody to monitor your progress through academic promotion and tenure. That is not your mentor. That's an administrative person helping you navigate the process. You want to find your external mentor who has been through the process to tell you about what is it in that gray zone. There's going to be some landmines that you want to miss and not step on. So you want to be able to have that kind of a mentor to help you, to guide you through the processes, because it really is a rubric-driven process. Meet the rubrics, you should be successful. So if it says you need 10 of this, you have 10 of that. So I do want to say that the mentorship that I've had in education began from when I entered it into the nursing world. I was appointed first as a medical school faculty. It didn't exist. But when I came into the nursing world, it did exist. And I am forever thankful that somebody sat down with me and said, this is your career path, what you have to do to get there. So we've got to respect the mentors ahead of us, and we've got to reward them. I'm still in touch with mine. She's since retired, but I'm still in touch with her. So I'm going to suggest that we do follow the rules, but we find those opportunities of gray, and we take and we seize the moment. So thank you very much.